Ed also served as the Chevrolet chief engineer and was responsible for probably the most significant thing to, from an engineering sense, to be part of the Corvette heritage, and that was the small block Chevrolet engine. And if any of you have studied any of the history of the small block engine, aside from the fact that it went on for 50 years, the design was done in a record amount of time, and in fact has pretty much withstood the test of time. Yeah, we did some tweaks as we needed to coming into the emissions era, but it was a design that truly was timeless. Ed Cole also, of course, was instrumental in having Duntov install this V8 in the 55 Corvette. Ed Cole was a racing enthusiast, supported not only sports car racing with the endurance racing, as well as a lot of the activity in the NASCAR circuit with the invention of the big block engine, the 348, 409, and so on. And amongst other things that Ed invented, I mean, even as the GM president, where I first got to feel his influence, he was still doing design work as the GM president. But he was instrumental in the Corvair, which is probably well ahead of its time, as well as you saw later on, and we got into more fuel-efficient engines and cars after the time that he had left General Motors.
Ed Cole enrolled in the GM Institute in 1930 and advanced through several positions at Cadillac, and in 1946 was promoted to chief engineer of Cadillac. In 1952, he was promoted to chief engineer of the Chevrolet Motor Division. In 1956, he was named general manager of Chevrolet and a vice president of General Motors.
Wonderful experience, because there for once,
Chevrolet
head of the corporation was a car nut. God, he loved hot cars, and I loved to bring him in the studio and show him new designs, because he'd get excited. He'd get excited about it, you know, not say, oh, that's nice. He knew what he was looking at, and he would encourage you to go farther.
Ed Cole didn't invent the Corvette. Harley Earl did. Ed Cole saw the car really at the clay model stage very early on. But once he saw the car, he recognized how important a vehicle like that could be for changing the image of the stodgy Chevrolet division.
It was the ideal rallying point for a revitalized Chevrolet product line. The Corvette itself was exciting, but what really motivated Ed Cole was this car. With 2 seats, plastic body, and 6 months from drawing board to driveway, had come from GM's most conservative car division.
He was an integral part of this whole development of the Corvette during the early days. He was chief engineer of Chevrolet. But you know, as a designer, Harley Earl or Zora, for example, couldn't do what they did without the support of management. But we happen to live through an era where we had not just management, but enthusiastic engineers like Ed Cole. He'd come over and look at your stuff, and he was more excited about it than you were. You know, and when he left, you thought, wow, I got to do some more of this.
Well, Ed Cole was always motivated us and many other engineers to charge ahead and respond to his push and guidance to overcome the problems and take the high ground.
He was a great guy to be around. He was a great guy to be around because you got charged up, and you became a lot more innovative because he was so innovative.
Ed was a doer. He had passion. He made things happen. He liked cars.
Ed Cole is a man of just one mood. Hurry, hurry, hurry. He is a man on the run, a mover, a a driver, a winner, and yes, a hustler. From Danforth Crossing, Berlin, Michigan. People think of him as tireless. And maybe they're right.
He and Zora really put the juice in the Corvette.
You know, he was so generally impressed with Zora that when Zora really wanted something, Ed helped him out. And without Ed, we probably would have lost the Corvette, you know, many times over.
He was a great supporter of Corvette. I really don't think the Corvette would have lived, really, without Ed Cole.
Was a GM